intentionally or unintentionally, or willingly or unwillingly, or you can say cautiously or unconsciously, anyway, we are doing a little bit research in our subconscious mind. So our subconscious mind is always active and analyzing data, what to say, what not to say, how to present, how not to, what not to present, how to appear, right? So our subconscious mind is always active, right? So we all are good researchers, I believe. uh, we all experiment a lot. We take a lot many decisions, right? But but the thing is, once it comes to the bigger level, for example, policy formulations, right? We are trying to innovate something. We are trying to innovate some drug. uh, for example, a few years back, though it's been 5 years now, we had COVID, right? So everybody was puzzled uh, because of these vaccinations and all. So, right. So for all these innovations and all, we need practical research, or we need research that can be practically implemented, isn't it? So that is why research is gaining importance day by day. And we cannot live without research. You take example of any firm, before merging, before acquisition, they do research. Before
Hello.
launching their product, they do
हाँ अरे
research.
करो करिए तो आज क्या कम करने हैं आप क्या बोलोगे
Hello.
हाँ हाँ
हाँ सर प्लीज कंटिन्यू
हाँ आराम से ही जल्दी जल्दी चलो
All right. Okay. So before launching new product, they do research. Everybody, every big organization, small organization, startups, right? You take example of startups. We are talking about startups. We are talking about, latest development and innovations and all, right? So before they have their business, they formulate strategy based on research. So research is everywhere, because you need to assess the risk. You need to have you need to optimize the process, right? You need to take control over the quality as well, right? So research is very, very needed. So that's why we are here to discuss about research, isn't it? So now let's try to understand why these research methodology, and why we are talking about this research methodology, or we are connected to each other. We are trying to learning from each other, right? So what exactly is research methodology? It is nothing but a systematic planning and conducting and organizing, analyzing the research, right? So whatever we will do for the large scale innovation, for the large scale policy implementations and all, we need to do it systematically. There should be a framework. We need to abide by some principles, right? We cannot deviate from there, isn't it? So that is why research methodology is very, very needed. Now, if I talk about the importance of research methodology, we are all aware of it, but just try to, I'm trying to, give you the things that which we need to know. That is, research methodology helps us to ensure the validity. For example, you can say that if you have good sleep, it can improve your productivity, right? Probably you have tested for uh, on you, right? And you have observed that the day you had a very good sleep, the next day you were very productive. But does it mean that you can make it general, right? No, you cannot make it general. You cannot make a generalized statement based on your experience only, right? You cannot introduce a theory that if you had a good sleep, you can improve your productivity, until and unless you collect data from a very good number of participants. You cannot do it, right? So it has to be valid, it has to be reliable. So we have tools and techniques to identify, assess the validity of your research, to identify the reliability, to ensure the reliability of your research, right? So basically, this research methodology gives us a framework, and it can, I mean, it can give us the way how to proceed ahead, right? So that nobody can ask question. Obviously, questions will always be there, criticism will always be there, but you should be able to defend yourself whatever you are saying backed by the data, and you went by your framework and it is credible, right? Whatever you are focusing, whatever you are as putting, whatever statement you are putting, that has to be credible, that has to be valid, that has to be reliable. That is why research methodology is right. So for the very basic or the beginners, if we have over here, let's just focus on different types of research. For example, we have applied research, we have basic research, we have correlation research, we have descriptive research, ethnographic, experimental, exploratory, lot many types of researches are there, right? But for just for example, what is basic research? You might be thinking how this universe began, right? Who created? What are the protons? What is atom? Who created or how does it come? So all these things are existing. You cannot contribute, you cannot go back and you cannot manipulate, right? You cannot do anything, right? So the creator, whoever has
पंकज
created.
भाई, एक मीटिंग में तो हूँ मैं। एक कॉल आया, मैंने वो रिसीव किया। इसी बीच में एक कॉल कॉल और आ रहा था। हाँ, इसका कैसे पता चलेगा? मैं रिसीव नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि उन्होंने एक कॉल रिसीव कर लिया। तो कॉल करूँ? कॉल बैक?
Sir, sorry, sir, we are going to mute. Kindly give one.
Okay, sir, no issue, sir. All right, so you might be thinking how this universe created, how these, what about planetary movements and all these things, right? So just you are increasing your knowledge, you are expanding your knowledge, right? So that's an example of basic research. You cannot do anything here. You cannot manipulate anything here, right? So that is basically basic research. But if I talk about how to improve agricultural crop production, right? How to cure a specific disease. So you need some, innovations, right? You need experiments, you need innovation. So what exactly you are doing? You are applying. So that is applied research. Mostly in scientific studies, to solve any, various kind of practical problems, we do have applied research. Similarly, we might be having descriptive research. The descriptive research is nothing but it is you're trying to explore.
उसको लेटर दिया ऐसा लगता है मुझे। नहीं नहीं, व्हाट्सएप पर मत भेजो।
All right. So in case of descriptive research, what exactly we do? We try to understand what is happening, right? For example, you are just trying to explore that how many students they are preferring online education over this classroom traditional, education. So what exactly you are doing? You are just describing the fact. You're not exploring why it is happening, why the students are enrolling, online, why they are not going to classes, why they are not attending, physical classroom, why they are opting online classes and all. So you are not doing so. But only if you're restricted that how many students are, online preferring in online, let's say, education in Hyderabad, in Nagpur, in some other, uh, you know, regions in India, right? So is there any variation whether there is any difference between the students, those who are, enrolling online education in Nagpur, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, right? So what exactly you are doing? You're just trying to describe, you're trying to find, and you're trying to describe the phenomenon. You're not describing why. So that is basically descriptive research, right? So in social science, these might be a kind of beginning, right? Before exploring why this is happening. So before exploring why this is happening, you need to explore what is happening. So first you need to understand the fact, then you can understand, you can go into the root level or deeper level and you can understand why this is happening, isn't it? So that is basically descriptive research. Similarly, we have experimental research. For example, let's say you are, you have introduced a drug, right? You have introduced a medicine and you just try to understand whether this medicine will work or not, right? So what exactly you are trying to do here? So this medicine is basically to, let's say, understand or control the blood sugar level or blood pressure level, whatever may be, right? So whether this drug is actually working or drug will work to reduce the blood pressure level or blood sugar level or whatever might be any other disease. So what you are doing here, you have selected two groups. So one is control group and another one is, let's say, experimental group. Okay. So what exactly you are doing here, just a second, let me, so what exactly you are doing here? So let's say you have selected 100 participants, and out of these 100 participants, 50 participants you are considering as controlled and 50 participants you are considering as experimental, right? So what you have done, you are giving the actual drug you have invented, right? You have introduced here to the 50 participants, right? So this experimental group and this is controlled group, right? So these 50 participants are receiving the actual drug, and these 50 participants you are giving placebo. Placebo you might be you might know. So you're not giving actual drug, you are giving a kind of sugar pill, let's say. So they are not aware that you are giving only sugar pill, right? They are thinking that they are receiving the actual drug or the medicine, right? Might be you also can try to understand whether there is any psychological, you know, impact on this, to lower the blood sugar level, right? So what you are doing, you are giving sugar pill instead of actual drug. So these are controlled and these are experiment. And let's say if you see after 5 days or 7 days of medication, if you see, or let's say 1 month of medication, if you see or if you can observe, actually these 50 participants who got the actual drug, they their blood sugar level reduced, right? Now they can lead the healthy life. That means that this particular drug really works or effective, right? So this is an example of experimental research. What exactly you did here? You followed a systematic method. You tried to explore the cause and effect relationship, and you manipulated one of the variable, right? So in your case, what was the dependent variable? The blood pressure level. And what was the independent variable? The drug, right? So whether there is any impact of these independent variable on the dependent variable, you experimented. You have an experimentation, right? So that's an experimental research. Similarly, you can have, let's say, exploratory research, right? So when you do not have any clear answer to all the prior study, right? You're just trying to explore the phenomena, you're trying to understand the things, you're trying to generate new idea, you might be trying to identify new pattern, you might be trying to confirm a hypothesis, right? In this case, what you are doing, you are exploring the fact. You're just simply exploring the facts. So that's an example of exploratory research. So you can have literature review, you can have interviews, you can have focus group discussion. For example, a marketing company, right, before launching their product, they have gone to a new area and they do not have any idea the consumer behavior over there, right? So they are going through, they are conducting some interviews with the consumer, they are conducting some kind of focus group discussions, right? They're conducting some pilot survey over there, right? So that's an exploratory research. They're not manipulating anything in this case, right? They're just simply exploring before launching or before, let's say, formulating the idea how the marketing activity will work over there, right? Similarly, we can have a correlational research. What is correlational research? Correlational research, so you might be interested whether there is any correlation between two variables. For example, whether this obesity and diabetes, whether these are correlated or not, right? Whether the smoking and cancer, that is correlated or not. whether alcoholism means, I mean, consuming alcohol and there is any correlation between the, let's say, your work performance, whether these are correlated or not, right? So you might have some idea, or you might be interested to explore two phenomena, and you try to explore whether there is any correlation or not, right? So you can do correlational research. So let me give you a practical example, practical overview, right? How you can conduct a correlational research or like that. You just let me know whether my screen is visible. I mean, the Excel sheet is visible. My Excel sheet is visible, right?
Ji, sir. Visible.
Yes,
All
sir,
right,
it's
all right,
visible.
all right, all right. Thank you so much. So you might be recently we had this Champions Trophy, and we did well. We won the trophy after a long time. So we all are happy. But as a researcher, you might have some other question in your mind. For example, you might be interested to see or interested to explore whether there is any relation between sleep time and match performance, right? You might be interested. For example, we all talk, we have come across certain news article where doctors are suggesting to have good sleep to increase productivity, or let's say like that. So you might be interested whether there is any relation between the sleep and the run. So what you did, let's say you considered Mr. Virat Kohli, right? So Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, or you can take anybody, right? So let us take an example of Mr. Virat Kohli, and what we have done, we collected data regarding his sleep hour and the match performance. So match performance can be measured through different aspects. For example, the score he has made, or if it is a test match, let's say the hours he has spent on crease, right? For example, if I talk about Mr. Rahul Dravid, he was known as dependable, Mr. Dependable, because why he just stand uh, like a wall, right? So he didn't. You probably he are not making so much of score, but he can spend hours and hours on pitch. So you might have different definition of measuring, performance, match performance. So for the time being, let us consider the number of runs, right? So this is match number one, right? This is match number two, this is match number three, this is match number four, this is match number five, and match number six. So we have collected data of 6 previous matches, right, of Mr. Virat Kohli, and we asked him before this particular match, how many hours he slept in the previous night. So for example, this is for the first match where he scored 123. He had good sleep of 7 hours last night, or previous to that match, right? Next match he scored, let's say 23, and he had 5 hours of sleep. Next match, he scored 234 and he had 8 hours of sleep. So like these, don't worry, it is not real data. These are fictitious data. Just to make you understand how this correlation will work, right? All right. So what we can do in Excel, you can simply do the data analysis with Excel, right? For example, we have data analysis tool pack in Excel. If you know it, that is good. Otherwise, I'll show you. So what you can do, you can go to File, right? And you can go to Option. Once you get this kind of dialog box, right? So you can go to Add in, and there is a data analysis tool pack you can see. So from here, you need to activate data analysis tool pack. So in my case, it is activated already. That is why it is showing here. Otherwise, you can activate it from here, right? For example, then you can go, then see, you can get an additional dialog box, and here you can just put tick and OK. The moment you click on OK, you come to this data and you will get this option. Can you see this option, data analysis? Right? Can you see this data analysis?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is a particular tool pack which is not pre-activated basically in Excel, right? Which you can, it is an add-in, and if you want more statistical analysis and all, apart from this or beyond these regular Excel operations, so you can activate it. So what I'll do, I'll go here, data analysis. I'll come to
Could you
correlation.
please tell it again how to activate it, the data analysis part?
All right. I'll show it.
Thank you, sir.
You have this Excel interface, right? You can go here, file. You can come to options. Can you get this option? Can you see this option, right? Options. Then once you click on option, you'll get an option add-in over here. You can get an dialog box over here, and you can get an option add-in, right? So I'm showing once again, file, options, then add-in, right? So in add-in, once you go here in add-in, there is another option, manage. So if you expand this manage, you'll get an option, data analysis toolpack. See this option I have already here. The reason being I have already activated. Otherwise, you need to activate over from here, right? So you can select on this data analysis toolpack and you click on go, and you can get an additional option. For example, analysis toolpack. You just click on OK and OK, right? So once you click OK, you will get an additional function over here, data analysis. That means your data analysis is already activated, right? Now it's time to do a little bit experiment about correlations and all, right? What we are discussing right now, correlation kind of study. So I'll go here, data analysis, and there is an option correlation. Can you follow me? There is an option correlation, right? So I'll click on correlation and I'll click on OK, right? I'll click on OK. So the moment I'll click on OK, Excel is asking me the input range. Can you see this additional dialog box right now? It has come, right? So here Excel is asking me the input range. So how to give the input range? What I'll do, I will select the table that we have. So here calculating the score he has made and the hours of sleep, right? So the entire table I have selected. So as you can see, it has already come A1 to B7, right? A1 to B7, it has come. Now one thing you need to be very careful. If your first row contains the headings, for example, in my case, I have run or the score and sleep. So in this case, I need to declare that I have labels in the first row. See, I need to declare I have labels in the first row. Since this is non-numeric values I have kept over here, if I do not declare, then Excel will be confused. It will get confused. It will fail to do the data analysis. So that is why I need to declare. So I have labels in the first row, right? Then I will click on OK. See, the moment I clicked on OK, can you see the value? Can you see the value? So what is
Yes,
the
sir.
value? Yeah. What is
Yes,
the
sir.
value I got?
0.78.
0.78. Very good. So what does it mean? Now let us try to interpret. What does it mean? It means that there is a strong correlation between the number of hours he had sleep and the next day match performance. Why I am saying so? The reason being, this is basically known as correlation coefficient. What is it known as? Correlation coefficient. So we got 0.783. So 0.783, right? So let us try to interpret it. Basically, what happens in correlation coefficient, we get the value, we measure it in a scale. Let us try to measure it in a scale, right? So, okay. So if we have a scale over here, +1 to -1, and in between 0, right? In between 0. So we have a scale over here, +1 to -1, and in between we have 0, right? So where this correlation coefficient is falling, for example, how to interpret, this is 0.1, this is 0.2, this is 0.3, this is 0.4, let's say this is 0.5, this is 0.6, right? This is 0.7, this is 0.8, this is 0.9, and this is 1. Similarly, we have here minus 0.1, minus 0.2, dot 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 dot. This is minus 0.9, and we have -1. Got it? So where we got this result, as you can see, this is 0.783. That means 0.3, almost here we are getting. Almost here we are getting. So in a scale, if it is 0 here, this is middle, that means no correlation. That in a scale, we are getting this correlation coefficient over here, 0.8. That means we can easily say that there are correlation between the hours of sleep and the next day match performance. So one is increasing. If you increase one variable, if you increase your sleep, quality of sleep, or let's say here we are measuring in terms of hours of sleep, there would be a higher probability that you might increase your, I mean, uh, score, right? So this is the concept of correlation. We are trying to measure the relation between two variables, right? So this is an example of positive correlation. So similarly, let me show you, there might be negative correlation as well. All right. For example, if we try to plot in a graph, right? So this is x-axis, and this is y-axis. This is x-axis, and this is y-axis. This is x-axis, and this is y-axis. So let us take an example of negative correlation. Can you give any example of negative correlation? Anybody? Which is normally accepted? Negative correlation. If we increase one variable, another variable will decrease.
Law of
Am I
demand.
audible?
Law of demand. Price increases, demand decreases.
Very good, exactly. So if price increases, demand will fall. So this is normally accepted, and this is proven. There is nothing to explore, right? This is kind of universal, except few things, obviously. There are few products. If we decrease the price, the demand also will decrease. For example, diamond, right? If we, for example, today, if you decrease the price of diamond, the demand will also decrease. There, diamond is precious because this is not affordable to everybody, right? So that is why these are some products. There are some products, some phenomena which basically which are exceptions. But others you take, if you increase the price of potato, the demand will fall. If you increase the price of tomato, the demand will. Similarly, If we increase, let's say, screen time. So I have an example of, let's say, screen time, right? I hope you can see this, right? Let's say one student is doing MBA and he has 6 terms, right? So in this 6 term, this is term 1, this is term 1, let's say T1. So this is term 2, this is, trimester, this is term 3, 5 and 6, right? So in the first term, the student used to use his mobile phone or laptop or any other thing which is not basically productive 5 hours on an average 5 hours daily. And in this term, he got only 50%. Next term, he reduced, right? And he started using mobile only 4 hours a daily and he got 60%. Next term, 3.5 and 65% he scored. Next term, 4, 3 and he scored 70. And next term, he started using his mobile phone or he reduced his screen time to 2.5 hours daily on an average and he scored, let's say, 75%, right? So and so forth. Now see, if we analyze the data, I'm going here, data analysis. Similarly, I'll do correlation. Okay, right? And I am giving the input. So I'm giving the input over here. So I selected the entire variable or the table, right? And also I have declared, I have labels in the first row. And I'm clicking on OK. See, what is the result I got? Can you see the result I got? What is the result?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Minus 0.9.
Minus 0.9. Very good. So minus 0.9 means this result is strongly negatively correlated. Why negatively correlated? Because if you increase score time, the result is saying your score is decreasing. So one phenomena is increasing and another is decreasing. If you increase more, another will decrease more. Similarly, if you decrease your screen time, your score will increase. Again, you decrease your screen time, the score will increase. If you decrease another, more, the score will again increase. So both are going in opposite directions. So that is why these are basically negatively correlated. But and the negative correlation is 0.9, which is strongly, we can say this is strongly negatively correlated, right? Strongly negatively correlated. So similarly, if we just go here, we're just discussing about this one. So if we measure, let's say, um, can you give an example of positive correlation apart from the thing that we explored? Any example of positive correlation which is normally accepted?
Sir, rain and crop production.
Rain and crop production. Again, there might be a situation. So until and unless flood-like situation is created, right? So if rain is increased, right? If we have good number of, good amount of rainfall, we will have good production, crop production. So if we increase here rain, if we measure rain and crop production, if we plot data, let's say you will get a result like this, right? Because this is positively, both these things are positively correlated. See, you have these you have this rainfall, you have this crop production. You increase rainfall, you have more number of crop production. See, you increase more, that is also increasing. You increase more, that is also increasing. You increase another, this is again increasing. So see, both are increasing. That is why in case of positive correlation, we get an slope like this. It might be like this as well. It might be like this as well, right? It might be like this as well. It may not be perfectly positively correlated, right? So in this case, we might get slopes like this, but these are the kind of slopes we get in case of positive correlation. So this is an example of positive correlation. Is it clear? Positive correlation. So one is increasing, other phenomena is also increasing. This is increasing, other phenomena is also increasing. Got it? Now, how negative correlation will look like? Basically, in case of negative correlation, for example, we took an example of screen time, and exam score. So if you increase screen time, you will have less exam score, right? So if you have exam score like this, means screen time like this, probably you are having exam score like here, right? Again, you are decreasing screen time, your exam score is also increasing. See, you are decreasing screen time, your exam score is increasing. You are decreasing more, another one increasing more. You are decreasing more, another one is increasing. So in case of negative correlation, basically, you get an slope like this. Got it? So if you increase one phenomena, other will decrease. Right? Is it clear? So you might get, this is an example of basically negative correlation. Right?
It is possible to do repetition.
Sorry. So if you increase one, one variable, another one is decreasing. Exactly, I'm not getting. All right. So this is an example of, let's say, negative correlation. Right? Negative correlation. So similarly, you may not have any correlation. For example, if data is, if data is plotted like this, maybe you are not getting any kind of slope. You're not getting any kind of slope. So there might not be any correlation, right? If the correlation coefficient is close to 0, let's say 0.001 or point, it may be here minus as well, minus 0.001 or like this. If it is close to 0, then you can say that there is no correlation, right? So this is one aspect. Another aspect in research, you need to be very, very careful, that is about significance. For example, now I'll show you through SPSS, right? You might be knowing about SPSS. So it's a statistical package by IBM, and you can do many numbers of data analysis and different kinds of, exploration. You can do it through SPSS. So I'll just give you a brief overview how you can use SPSS and all, right? For example, so this is an SPSS, IBM SPSS, I mean, interface. As you can see, I'll start the fresh one, right? Yeah. So this is a new, you can download SPSS, I mean, free version of SPSS, means trial version of SPSS from the official site. So you can just type IBM SPSS. For example, I'll show IBM SPSS. You go once again. All right. You can go here to the official site, IBM SPSS, and You can download trial version from here. For example, you can see try IBM Spaces modular for free or try Spaces statistics for free. So you can just click on try Spaces statistics for free, and you can first you need to you will have to register yourself for the trial version. So you need to give the information, all the relevant informations that the website is asking from you. So you need to fill all this data and all, right? Then you can do next. Then what happens is Spaces will send you some code in your registered mail, the mail that you will be putting here, right? And you can use Spaces, IBM Spaces for 30 days for free. Otherwise, if you have your institution has access to Spaces, it's very good. Then you don't have to register like this, and you don't have to struggle, right? So anyway, you can download it and you can use it for data analysis and all. So I'll just show you how we can do data analysis over here. For example, if you come to Spaces, this is the user interface of Spaces, right? And we get here two views. One is variable view and another one is data view. So in case of variable view, what happens? We put the variables, right? For example, first, what is the variable name? For example, you can put serial number. So I have given serial space number. Let's see if we put enter, what happens? You can see I get a warning message that is variable name contains illegal character. That means something is wrong. So what is wrong? Basically, let me tell you. In case of Spaces, when you are putting the variable names over here, right? Space is not allowed basically. So you can simply type SL now. Is my screen visible? Spaces. I hope this is visible, right?
Yes,
Serial
sir.
number.
Yes.
All right. So serial number. Next, what is the variable we had over here? For example, let me take an example of the previous one from the cricket match. Yeah. So we took run. So we can go here and putting run, or you can simply put score, anything. And next variable is sleep time. So how many hours he had sleep the previous night? Sleep time. So we're just trying to explore whether there is correlation between these or not. So I'll just show you through Spaces, though we have explored through Excel, right? The next thing that you'll have to do is you need to give the measure. For example, serial number. So serial number is not measured in scale. Basically, it's you can give it a nominal. Score you'll have to set is a scale, and sleep time you'll have to set at scale. So once this is you are ready with this, I'll try to finish as early as possible given the time. So, probably I have 5 to 10 minutes remaining. Just quickly I'll show you. I'll go to data view. See, there is another option, data view. So once I click on data view, I got all the variables. See, serial number, score, and sleep time. So you can import data from your Excel directly. For example, file. Here there is an option import database or Excel. So you can click on Excel, right? So in Excel, you can click on this here and you can do open. Otherwise, if your data is not large, what you can do, you can type data or copy paste the data. So what I'll do, how many matches we are taking into consideration? I'll see how many 6 match. So simply I'll put here as, let's say, yeah. So serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you might be wondering why in serial number 0.00 is coming, because in variable view, if we come here, so by default decimals are set to. So what you can do, you can bring down to 0. So once you bring it down to 0, you can see here. Am I audible clearly? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm getting some weird sound. I don't know. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll copy paste the score, run. So copy and paste it, right? And I'll also score slip, right? And I'll paste it. So this is the first match where he scored 123 and he had only 7 hours of sleep previous to the match. Then 23, 5 hours of sleep, so and so forth. So what I'll do simple, correlation. So I'll go to analyze, right? I'll go to correlate and this bivariate correlation. And actually, sorry, SPSS is asking what are the variables I need to consider. Means I'm going to consider here for my data analysis, right? So I'll consider score and sleep time both. So I'll press control. Otherwise, one by one also you can take. Just select score and select this arrow and select sleep time and arrow, right? So these are the two variables. The reason being, I don't have anything to do with the number, match serial number. Then I'll click on options, then measures and standard deviation, continue, and OK. See, I got the result in a fraction of a second. Can you see the result? What is the result you are getting? Right? What is the correlation coefficient I got it? 0.783, right? So I got the correlation coefficient. Can you see the screen? Can you see the result? So that is the output. There's the output page you can see right now. All right. Okay, so that's the output page you can see right now. And we can get the result of 0.783, and I'll just see the same result I got it, 0.783, right? So the correlation coefficient here also, and in SPSS in Excel also we got 0.783, and in SPSS also we got what? See the result over here, 0.783. So same result I'm getting. Now what is the next? In statistics, whenever you are exploring such kind of phenomena, you also need to consider significance, whether this result is significant or not. You might be having very, you are getting result, there is a positive correlation between the sleep and the exam score, sorry, the math score. Is it significant? So what is the significance value over here? Can you see it? What is the significance value? 0.065, right? 0.065 is the significance value. So basically, as per the thumb rule, if the significance is less than, means p-value, if the p-value is less than 0.05, then we say this is significant, right? If it is less than 0. So what is, in our case, what is the value we got? What is the value we got? That is 0.06. So is it less than
0.783?
Sorry, just a second. Oh, sorry. No, 0.783 is the correlation coefficient. I'm talking about now significance value. So 0.783 is a correlation, which basically shows us this is very much close to 1, na? So which basically shows us there is a strong positive correlation between the sleep time and the match performance. But now the question is it significant? Is this result is significant? You also will have to look this phenomenon. So in significance, how much we got? 0.06, right? 0.065. And what is the thumb rule? As I told you right now, the significance should be less than how much? 0.05. If the p-value is less than 0.05, then only we can say the result is significant. So in our case, how much we got? 0.065, which is greater than the thumb rule. Though it is very much close, but this does not fall under the thumb rule. That means that though we have got the result that there is a strong correlation between the sleep time and the match performance, but we are not, or we cannot say very much confidently with 95% confidence level, we cannot say that these two values are correlated, means strongly correlated, meaning that from here 0.783 from the correlation coefficient, you are interpreting there is very strong correlation between match performance and sleep. But from the significance level, you are saying though there is very much strong correlation, but we cannot say it very confidently that there is strong correlation because the result is not significant. It should be less than 0.05. Then only we can say with 95% or utmost confidence level that the result, what we got here is significant. But here we cannot say it. Let us try to, with another example of exam score and screen time, right? So what we'll do here, I'll take another spreadsheet, SPSS sheet. So I'll go to file.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Huh.
Actually, sir, I want to ask you one question that in the spreadsheet that we have taken three values. One is serial number, second one is the sleep time, and the third one that we are having, that is the score or runs. If we will not take this serial number, is there any problem?
No, I'm not considering. No, I'm not considering. I
Okay.
did not consider the serial number because serial
All right.
number is just for data. Like you have put data. So you
How
are
many
we are
number of
putting
data
match
that we
number
have
one.
taken only
This
for
much
that?
is code. Match number one. For example, the way we write down the student number or like the serial number. So this is just for the reference. This is not for data interpretation because we cannot do match number one plus match number two, match number three. There is no interpretation. We cannot make addition, subtraction of match number, right?
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Okay, next let us take example of this one. So what are the variables we have taken here? Dark. So we have three, variables, for example. So I'll come here. So I'm taking the new sheet term. In SPSS we're doing, though we did it in Excel. Term, then screen time, screen underscore time. Why underscore? Because in case of SPSS does not consider, space, right? Screen time and exam underscore score, right? So we have term in variable view. I have given term, screen time and exam score. So I have completed the data. What is the next task over here now? So I'll need to fix the scale, measures. So term is just for nominal, term 1, term 2, just name. I cannot do any data analysis over there. I cannot make addition, subtraction, term 1 plus term 2 plus term 3. And I cannot say term 1.5, term 1.3, right? So it's like semester. So you cannot do any kind of addition, subtraction based on your semester, name. That is illogical. So it's only nominal scale. But what you can do the screen time. So in case of screen time, what you are doing, you are measuring it in scale, and exam score also you are measuring in scale. So you have said this, variable view, you have given the variable names and all. Now it's time to go to the data view. So see, the three variables have come here. Now we are ready for the, giving input, right? So what I'll do for saving our time, I'll just completely copy paste it. Let's see screen time and score. Hope that these are, yeah, in the same way. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So I need to just give the term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5, and last term. So this is a student who used to use 5 hours daily in term 1, and he scored 50%. And the same student, he scored, let's say, 4 hours daily in term 2, and he scored 60%, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to see whether there is any correlation between these or not, right? Though we did it in Excel, but let's see, let us explore it with SPSS. So that's a very, very basic calculation we'll do. First, I'll go to analyze. Then I'll come here for the correlate, and I'll go to bivariate correlation. So I'll click on OK. Now SPSS is asking me what are the variables I need to consider. Definitely I'll not consider term. I'll consider screen time, and I'll consider the exam score, right? So based on it, I have given the variables. Then I'll go to options. I'll just put measures and standard deviation. I just want to know the measures and standard deviations, right? Then continue and OK. Now see, what is the result I'm getting? Can you see the result? What is the result? What is the correlation coefficient?
Highly negative.
Highly negative, right? Highly negative. So I'm getting in a scale, if we just try to plot in a scale, so that's a scale where there is +1 and there is -1, and here there is 0. I'm getting the value somewhere here. So the correlation coefficient cannot be less than -1, cannot be more than +1. So I'm getting this result here, -0.999999. That means that almost -1. That means strongly negatively correlated. Now the next question which will come, definitely as we saw in our previous case, whether this is significant or not. So what is the significance level I'm getting? See, I'll go to Excel did not give me the significance result, only Excel give me the correlation coefficient. But in case of SPSS, I got the significance as well. So what is the significance? Can you see? 0.000. So the significance or the p-value, what I'm getting here is 0.000. That means if we try to interpret point p-value is here in our case 0.000, which is way less than our thumb rule, that 0.05. So what is the thumb rule? The p-value, if the p-value is less than 0.05, then our result is significant. So in our case, this p-value is less than 0.05 and we got a significant result. That means we can confidently, based on data, we can confidently say that if you increase the screen time, your academic performance will decrease. So we can plot it like this. So this is perfectly negatively correlated. The more screen time you'll be using, you'll get less mark. You reduce your screen time, your marks will increase. You reduce your screen time more, your marks will more increase. You reduce your screen time, your marks will increase more. See the points, data points, interactions we are getting, right? So that's why negative correlation slopes look like this. So it might look like these. So this is an example of negative correlation. But positive correlation will look like this, right? So if one is increasing, another one is also increasing. See, both are increasing together. But just remember, correlation does not mean causation. Causation means cause and effect. Correlation does not give us a result of causation. You cannot say that because of your screen time, your academic performance went down. Because of Virat's sleep, he scored, better or less. It is not giving any causation. We are not doing any cause and effect relationship. We are not considering any dependent variable or independent variable relation here. So for this case, we need to go for at least a regression analysis, right? For this case, we need to go for regression analysis, right? So in case of regression analysis, we can get y equal to a plus bx, right? A plus bx, right? For example, I'll just show a simple example over here. So I have a data here. For example, there is a company who has, this is monthly, let's say, marketing spent, how much the company spent for the marketing. Let's say this is month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, so and so forth, right? So in this first month, the company spent 20,000 and company generated 1,50,000 revenue. And the next month, company generated 35,000 and company generated 2,30,000 revenue, right? So you might be interested whether this marketing spend is causing the sales revenue or not, right? So in this case, you can do regression analysis. So definitely you can plot many types of analysis in SPSS, but if you are very beginner or if you do not have SPSS, simple in in Excel also you can do regression analysis as well, right? So I can go to data analysis, and once you go to data analysis, you can get an option here, regression. Can you see the option, right? Regression. So once you click on this regression analysis, you click on OK, and you will get an additional dialog box. So what is the y range over here? What is the dependent variable? Who can say what is the dependent variable here? What is the dependent variable here?
Cause-effect relationship,
Cause and effect, but what is the dependent variable? Which one? Whether marketing spend is dependent variable we are considering, or the sales revenue?
So marketing
expenditures.
Marketing expenditure is an independent variable, right? We are considering here.
revenue.
Yes. So we are assuming that we are trying to understand whether sales revenue is dependent on marketing spend or not. Is it like that the more I'm spending for advertisement, more I am generating revenue or profit, or like that? So here, the revenue that I am earning from the sales, whether this is dependent on my advertisement expenditure or not, right? So what in case of input, that is why in case of Y range, what we'll do, we'll give here the sales revenue as an dependent variable Y. And in case of X range, we'll give independent variable, let's say marketing spend. So I have 20 months of marketing spend, marketing expenditure, and sales revenue, 20 months of sales revenue, right? And I will click on labels, residuals, standardized residuals. You can click on this normal probability and I'll click on OK. See, instantly I got this plot, right? Instantly I got this plot. So what does it signify basically? How to interpret? So with this, we will, I'll conclude my session here. As I told you, regression in case of, if you are doing regression analysis with two variables, the equation comes like this, right? The equation comes like this. For example, y equal to a plus bx, where a is the constant, b is the intercept. So in our case, what is the y? What is the dependent variable? Y is the dependent variable. We took sales revenue, right? So we wanted to know whether sales revenue equal to, what is the a? Here, let us try to understand what is the a. See, this is the intercept, right? So I can write minus 10,217. All right, 10,217 minus, right, minus 10,217 plus, what is the b here? I got the result. What is the b? 7.22. So 7.22 into, what is the x independent variable we considered? What is the independent variable we considered? See, that is marketing expenditure, right? Or you can say advertisement expenditure. So marketing expenditure. Marketing expenditure. So here you are trying to explore about cause and effect relationship. So you can see if you know marketing expenditure, how much marketing expenditure, by applying this formula, you can get the expected sales revenue, right? So let's say, based on the data, if somebody says that next month we will have 20,000 or 2 lakh marketing expenditure, right? 2 lakh marketing expenditure. So what you can do, you can immediately, kind of predict what is the sales revenue we will be having, right? It's a kind of estimation. So what you can do, 7.22 plus minus 10,217, that's a constant sales revenue. So your estimated sales revenue or estimated sales earning from your sales could be this one, minus 10,217 plus 7.22 into 2 lakh. So if you know how much marketing expenditure you will be having, how much money you are going to spend for advertisement, you can kind of predict the sales revenue. So here we are exploring cause and effect, but correlation is only to understand whether there is any positive correlation or no correlation or negative correlation between two phenomena or between two variables. Here we are not exploring any cause and effect. Be very, very careful. Correlation is not about cause and effect. You cannot say that because of sleep time, your academic performance or the math score you improved or like that. It's just simply whether these are going towards the same direction or opposite direction. That's it. So the more deeper you'll go, you'll start enjoying it. Basically, research is something, the more you'll explore, more you'll start enjoying, right? So with this, I'll conclude my session. I hope that in one way or other way, the session was beneficial for you. I justified the time whichever had been allocated to me. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Ajay. Karna join. Hello. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Shubhajit. Actually, we could see that the students were enjoying because the practical application, they need to understand to come at the statistical inferences. It was indeed wonderful that you explained them. And sir, I messaged you on WhatsApp for,
Okay.
you can check it out for one more session if you are free on non-parametric test 22nd.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Please, we shall speak on it, right? So,
all right. I'll check my schedule, sir.
Yeah.
If possible, I'll be
Yeah,
happy
yeah,
to contribute.
yeah.
It's an honor and
So,
privilege for me. Thank you.
yeah, sir. So thank you very much for actually the other speaker had a meeting by 5 p.m. So he was actually requesting me before you ended. He can, sir, continue, but I just now give 1 minute. Sir, can you give me 1 minute, sir? Shubhaji, sir, give me 2 minutes. I get
All
back.
right. All right.
Yeah. हाँ मैम सर इज जॉइन टू इंट्रोड्यूस करा ठीक है Yeah, so thank you very much, Dr. Shubhajit sir. The second speaker, Dr. Vishal Tomar, has joined us. Sir will be speaking about types of researches. And thank you very much for joining, Vishal sir. And I will request Vaishali ma'am, Professor Vaishali Bankar ma'am, to give introduction of the Dr. Vishal Tomar sir. Please, Vaishali ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everyone. I, Professor Vaishali Bankar of Business Law Department of Akbar Kirbhai College, welcomes you all in this third session of first day of ICSSR sponsored 10-day national online capacity building program on advanced research methodology. So welcome you all. So we have a very eminent guest speaker here, Dr. Professor Vishal Tomar, and we have a brief introduction of him. Is a very qualified person. So sir is from Srimati MMK College of Commerce and Economics Linking Road, Bandra West, Mumbai, and he has completed his master's degree of Commerce from University of Mumbai in the April 2002, and he has qualified his state eligibility test in lectureship for Commerce in February 2005, and he has completed his MPhil in Commerce and Management from YCMOU in June 2009. He has completed his MPhil, has completed his doctorate in commerce from Kavyatri Bahinabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jadgaon, in September 2018. And he's a PhD guide in University of Mumbai, and recently 5 students are currently registered with him. And he has a very good professional excellence also. And has a 19 years of teaching experience in degree college at undergraduate and postgraduate level. He's teaching in Department of Commerce at Srimati MMK College of Commerce and Economics, Bandra.
Madam,
Recently.
may I disturb you?
No, yes, sir, sure.
Please. I have a urgent meeting at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
ये बंद करते हैं the introduction. So you just welcome me and then we will start.
Yes, sir. Please welcome, sir, in this session, sir. So now I'm just giving this task to sir. So please continue with your precious words, sir, please.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vaishali.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening to all of you. And before I start with anything, I was just going through the Subhajit sir's presentation, and from technical, we are going to go back to something called as full theory. And I was also seeing the profile of the people there on the Zoom. So what we how we go about is, let us be interactive in the sense that whatever you want to say, whatever you want to ask, or whatever we discuss here, if you have something, you put it on the chat. Don't unmute, because there will be a disturbance. Whatever you want, you please what you do, you put it in the chat. We will discuss that. Second is, let me be a kind of clarification or declaration kind of thing. The topic which has been given to me, that is social science researchers, that is open in the sense that if you see the books, they have different answers. If you see the people who are coming and giving the lectures, that is totally different. So what we will do is, we will go point by point. And if you already many of you have been doing the research papers, many of you have been working on your researches and all those things. So there cannot be one specific you can say a kind of what you say a kind of research method what you can adopt. It totally depends upon what you are doing, what we are planning to do, and what we are expecting our result to. So let us start with that. Whether my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So whenever you have a doubt, or if you want some clarification, we can go through, we will stop, we will discuss and come back. Of course, I would like to learn from you also regarding the same. Now, of course, research methodology, I will go a little bit fast because already many things you are aware of this. Chalo, hum log start karte like this. Can you put down the types of research methods you all of us know? फटाफट chat box में yes no you फटाफट. Types of researchers. I think there are more than 17-18 types of researchers in different books, categorizing in different way of way. Chat box में please, I'm waiting for your answer. Different types of researchers. कहते ना what is your research? What is the type of your research? I'm waiting for your answers. Chat box में.
Yeah, they started answering.
Yeah, empirical, quantitative, qualitative, descriptive. What else? Okay. Basic, experimental, basic, applied research, qualitative, descriptive, fundamental, applied. Okay. Okay. Triangulation method. Okay. Content analysis. Okay. Chalo. Done. So let us go. Let us be very basic. I will not be using any research language in this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use very basic research words, simple language. I'm going to have this session. Just a second from my side. So let us start. Now, I will just skip the basic things. We will go to back to the main things. This social science research, what we are trying to cover in this social science research, we are trying to cover the areas like political science, economics, geography, anthropology. Anthropology is nothing but study of human being, the psychology, the sociology. Yes. Now, this is basically what we go for the research design process. That is, we start with a problem, then what we do is we try to get some research questions from that. Research questions say we go to the literature review, and if any theory is there or any model is there, we work on that, and then we go for this processes, data analysis, data collection. Just now we were seeing in the session 1, all these parts we were seeing. Now this is a research process, identifying the problem, review of literature, and so on. Data collection, processing, and report writing. Now coming to the examples of social science research, we have sociology, psychology. Anthropology is nothing but the study of human being or human being in a group, as a community, we can do that way. And economics and political science. Geography, communication study, education, criminology, all this comes under the social sciences. Now coming to the types of research, this was you were answering, and that is pure and applied research, exploratory or a formative research, descriptive research, quantitative research or a qualitative research, even a mixed research where we use both, that is quality also and quantity also, diagnostic study, evaluation study, action research, experimental research, analytical study or a statistical method, historical research, survey, and case study. See, when we are talking about the social sciences, for us, there are basically 4 types of research we normally consider. One is, of course, exploratory. It is nothing but we start with something new which we have never planned. Yes. So there is no background of that study. We just go and start with something. That is the exploratory. Coming to the next one is descriptive. I think as a social science, this is the main area where we work. Social science, what we do is there is some model, there is some theory, and that theory what we try to do is we try to find out something extra, something new to that, and basically that is done through survey. Commerce, management, economics, all this comes under this social sciences. That is descriptive study. Second is experiment. For us, social science, experiment. Again, experiment is also there. Many of us might be teaching MHRM, that is Management and Human Resource Development, HRD. In that, there is one theory what we study of motivation, and that is Hawthorne theory. Yes. Okay, that is Hawthorne theory. Now the screen is moving, my dear. You are able to see? It's not moving, sir.
Screen visible but not content.
Okay, 1 second. Now, it's visible.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Types of research. We are seeing types of research.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks a lot. So, what is this Hawthorne theory? It was something in 1926. We have studied this theory, and in this, an experiment was conducted. Yes, and that's what we are trying to do is, in the management, we can also have this, that is experiment. So, as a social science student, we may know about exploratory, we know about descriptive, we know about experiment, and of course we know about history. But for us as a social science study, we have two things what we have to cover up, that is descriptive study and experimental study. And in the descriptive we have cross sectional, and then we have longitudinal study. Okay, till now anything you want me to go back and make you explain, my dear? Anything?
Sir, what is about the diagnostic study?
Yes, yeah, diagnostic study that we are going to study further when I will be showing you the further slides. But basically what I said is we will start with the very basic, and then we will go for that diagnostic. At the end of the slides we have that diagnostic study also. Should we go ahead till now? Should we go ahead? Chalo.
Yes, sir. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Now coming to the first one, that is pure and applied research. The pure is nothing but, as we have know, it is a study of search of knowledge. For the first time what we do, yes, we don't have an intention to search, just hum baithe and we have done something. Yes, that can be your pure and applied research. Yes, it is studying, whereas applied is nothing but it is a study of finding the solution to a problem. What we do is, there is a problem, there is already, we know something about the problem and we are trying to solve that. That is nothing but applied study. Now this is the purpose of pure and applied study. Pure can be, it can contribute to the new fact, because we don't have, we are not coming here with some intention of searching. Just like we are sitting and we have done something, we have got the, that is, it can contribute to the new facts, it can put theory to the test. Yes, it may aid in a conceptual clarification. Now this is important for us, let us go for this one. Now, what is basic, pure and fundamental research? That is, extend the existing domain of knowledge about certain topic like sale, human behavior, trend, pattern, or relationship. That is, examples I've given here about the basic of pure or fundamental research. That is, impact of salary on motivation, impact of advertisement on various media such as newspaper, television, even social media, you can use it. Exploring how human brain processes information and acquire knowledge. Now, these are the topics which we normally deal with, basic of fundamental research. Next is applied research. As we say, it's application to a specific product. It may be for specific industry, it may be for a specific company, it may be for any specific campaign or service. Yes, it aims at solving any problem, that is issue related to any problem we are trying to solve. Examples: study to evaluate the impact of advertising, social science, behavior science, human resource development, organizational development, economic marketing, and so on. Yes, analyzing how diversity training programs adopted by various companies at different levels for their employees can be worked on, and what is the impact of that on the employee productivity or employee you can say employee performance and all those things. So these are nothing but your pure ke baad applied. Sometime we also call them as action research. Coming to exploratory, जो कि हम लोग बोल रहे कि exploratory is nothing but we are trying to explore the things. Yes, in this exploratory, what is that? Unfamiliar problem. Yes, or a problem जिसका हमें ज़्यादा knowledge नहीं है, ज़्यादा information नहीं है. We are trying to work on that. That is nothing but your exploratory or formative. That is generating new ideas to increase the familiarity. जैसे COVID आया था, we never knew कि वो कौन सा virus था. So when we try to study that virus, we try to get some new information. So that can be the way to make the precise the formulation of the problems, to gather the information which will help us in finding out the new facts. Again, coming here, it is used when much is not known. We don't know much. We don't know about the new topic. We don't know about the topic what we are trying to search. So here we are trying to enter with because of the curiosity, or we want to learn something, or we want to find out something. That is a exploratory. That means we are trying to explore a problem at a preliminary stage. Yes, it is conducted when there is no earlier theory or model. That means there is no base for the study. We are doing it for the first time, so there is no background for that. No historical information is there, or historical data is there, or so any data is there. So we trying to do that. Yes, here methodology is what we can use is both quantity and qualitative. Sometimes you can use quantitative, sometimes we can use qualitative. For example, interviewing the young generation about voter turnout. That can be the example of exploratory study. Second is the descriptive study. The name itself says we are going to describe, we are going to study in depth into it. Sorry, मैं थोड़ा fast जा रहा हूँ because we have to end up that descriptive study. In the descriptive study, what we are doing is we are trying to describe a particular thing. We are going to get a deeper knowledge of that. Yes, that is fact-finding investigation with adequate interpretation. It is the simplest type of research. It is designed to gather descriptive information about any of the information about social sciences or economics or that way. Data are collecting using observation, interview, and questionnaire method. The purpose of it is to obtain information by providing a fact in the social action programs. Yes, this is nothing but the descriptive findings. Now, like describing variables in revenue, life of item, return on investment. Here in the descriptive study, what we are trying to do is we are trying to answer the 6 questions. What are those questions? Who is the best batsman? We know the batsman, but who is the best? Which cricket ground has the highest scoring run things? We know there are cricket grounds, but we want to know more about it and more about particularly about a stadium where highest runs are being scored. What is the average salary of people? Where the responses of a particular advertisements was most favorable? Television में, या newspaper पे, या social media पे? When did the manufacturing process go out? At what stage? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. That means there are stages. We know about the stages, but out of the stages number, in which stage? That is deeper information. How much the productivity increase? Yes. So these are the questions we normally deal with in descriptive examples. A survey is conducted to find out how many hours teenagers spend on a social daily. Just now in the first session, we were studying that only. But of course, that was related to result and more on social things. Here we are trying to find out how teenagers spend the time on social media daily. Or students report trend or a study collecting the data of males and female employees in different industries. So what we are doing is we are trying to conduct in depth, and since it is in depth, we have to apply survey method in that. Yes. Now coming to the quantitative research, the name itself says here where quantity is related, where we are going to measurable quantity. Yes, that is nothing but our quantitative research. It involves collecting and analyzing numerical data to understand the social phenomena. Characteristics is numerical data, quantity होना चाहिए, large sample sizes होने चाहिए, statistical analysis is possible in that. Just now we were doing it, and ये सब हम करना चाहिए. Then objective is nothing but aims at testing the hypothesis and theories. That is, whatever the hypothesis we have framed, yes, whether we are able to deal with it, yes, whether we are able to solve that hypothesis, whether we are approving it or rejecting it, whether we are able to that can be done in the statistical analysis. It can be in the form of surveys, experiments, and content analysis. Anything in this till now? Of course, I know I'm little bit Shiba has asked, sir, in case of exploratory research, only the researcher should has less knowledge, or in general the people has less knowledge about the area? That can be about in general people have less knowledge and we don't know more about it, but we are trying to find it out. That is the answer. चलो ठीक है. Now, this quantitative analysis or quantitative method, ये आया कहाँ से? ये आया economics से. Yes, it has been originated from the economic theory, and normally it is used in agriculture and medical experiments, where we measures the things, we count the thing, the frequency of occurrences we try to measure. So basically the background of this quantitative comes from the economic theories. वहां से हमने इसको उठाया. So quantification refers to the measure of consumer behaviors, attitude in social sciences. That is how we are going to use this quantitative theory in the social sciences, by quantifying the consumer behaviors, by quantifying the attitudes and so on. Examples: how much growth has taken place in EV market segment? That quantity we will come to know, 5%, 10%, 15%, that we have to know. How many students have a work experience of more than 1 year in a particular postgraduate institute? That again is number. How often production system got disrupted? Once, twice. We cannot say 50%, we cannot say 10 grams, we cannot say 20 grams. We have to be very specific by saying that how many times it got disrupted. And since it is a quantification of measures, what we have to do here, we have to use statistical tools such as mean, variance, normal distribution, binomial distribution, correlation and regression. Just now we were calculating in the first session. Testing of hypothesis, ANOVA, time series analysis, forecasting, decision theory. So these are the statistical tools what we use in quantitative research. Most of the sciences, social science research, जो भी हम लोग normally research करते हैं, we use this kind of statistical tools. So we can say that one of the research method what we use is quantitative method. Now coming to the qualitative, certain things we cannot quantify. Happiness, we cannot say that we have 50 happiness, we have 50, we have 1 happiness. That has to be qualitative, very happy. And that's why it involves collecting and analyzing non-numerical data for a better understanding of social phenomena. Non-numerical data हम लोग collect करेंगे, yes, उसका in-depth analysis करेंगे, and then what we will do is we will try to find out the outcome of it. So what we will do to find out the qualitative things, we have to do the interviews. Yes, in-depth interview to find out a person, to find out a particular you can say a phenomena. So what we have to do, we have to find out the in-depth information when quantification is not possible. Focus group discussion can be done and we can observe them. Observational study by observing it. Yes, we might have studied, we may have read the book of फ्यूचर ग्रुप का हेड किशोर बियानी, सॉरी मुझे नाम याद नहीं रहते, फ्यूचर ग्रुप के हेड किशोर बियानी की बुक, आई थिंक ऑल ऑफ अस मे हैव सीन दैट इन आवर लाइब्रेरी. इट हैपेंस इन इंडिया. When Big Bazaar started its first store in Kolkata, white shirts were not selling. Yes, they have kept around, I think it was 250 rupees for a white shirt, and good quality white shirt at 250 was not being purchased by the people. So Kishore Biyani, what he did is, he was little bit puzzled. Ki such a good shirt is there, I'm offering at 250 rupees in the store, but no one is purchasing it. Kya karen? Kyun nahi ho raha? So what he did is, he went to the street and tried to ask the people, ki bhai, there is a store called Big Bazaar. No one is purchasing the white shirt which is at 250 rupees. Why it is happening here? So लोगों ने बोला, see sir, public transport system in Kolkata, you know what is little bit poor. Then they said that the climate here is very humid. So when a person from the home, if he want to reach to the office and he is wearing a white shirt, oh white shirt nahi rahi. Yes, that is what the people said. He came back, asked his employee that वो 250 वाला tag निकालो, and what he did is 250 में से उसने वो 2 निकाल दिया. That is only 50 was there. And the moment this 50 rupees का white shirt, it went across the people by saying that yes, यार एक shop है, उसका नाम Big Bazaar है, very good quality shirt at 50 rupees they are selling. Yes. So what happened? Within no span of time, the entire lot of that white shirt was sold out. So the person who was writing a book for him, she asked him, sir, 50 rupees में आपने बेच दिया, don't you think 200 rupees आपका लॉस था? बोलते सर मैडम, अगर मैंने इसको नहीं बेचा हो रहा था तो 250 rupees लॉस होता. Right now it's only 200 rupees loss. But on the contrary, people came to us with an expectation that we are selling a shirt at 50 rupees. So maybe next time they will be again coming to us by saying that yes, this store is going to give us sasta thing. And that's why from that point of time, that tagline of Big Bazaar came in, that is, isse sasta aur acha kahin. So from that day onward, Kishore Biyani ji made it a point that within a month, minimum 7 days, he will spend across his Big Bazaar stores in observing the people, their purchasing habit. And that's why in the book, it was written that, so what is the reason of the success of Big Bazaar? Of course, it is now closed now. But at that time, what is the reason of success of the Big Bazaar? He told one thing, I have not done anything. I have just Indianized the Walmart. So all this is nothing but observation. So here, quality is important rather than quantity. And that's what we are saying. Observational studies, that is observing participant in natural settings. He was also doing the same thing. He was just standing next to the store, in the store, and observing how the people are buying. So that can be the part of your study. Now coming to this, it relates to the inquiry, study of investigation of human behavior and the explanation of the same. It proposes field-based theory. Just now what example I gave to you about Kishore Biyani ji was field-based study. It was first used in social sciences. Now coming directly to the example, focus group discussion with teenagers are conducted. Workplace gender discrimination. Female employees can share the personal things, personal informations and all those things. These are nothing but the part of your qualitative research. See, I'm not dealing in detail because we have to go through the variables first. Then we have to find out the various types of data. In सबके बाद we come to know that what kind of research we are going to do. Yes, it may be a qualitative, quantitative. So what now I am doing is, I'm not telling you go for a quantitative or quality. I'm just telling you these are the quantitative. This is a fact what we are, is there behind the quantitative, and this is a reason why you should go for quantitative. Yes. Now, mixed method, where we use both quantitative and qualitative. When I did my PhD, I may use this method, mixed method, where some part of my information was in qualitative form and some part of my information was on quantitative form. my work area was about labors, their management and welfare. So it was both quantitative and qualitative. Now, quantitative, qualitative sequence, you can go for qualitative first and have some little bit quantitative and vice versa. Someone has asked me this, diagnostic, this, the name itself say, हम लोग कई जगह देखते हैं, diagnostic center. That means something is wrong. We don't know what is wrong. We go there and ask for a particular test, and they say that by evening you will get it on your mobile. So it is directed toward discovering what is happening, why it is happening, and what can be done. That's what doctor tell. 3 दिन तक wait करिए, 4th day पे test करिए. We will find out what it is, why it is happening, and we will try to give an answer to that. That is antibiotics or whatever it is. So diagnostic study can be a part. A particular industry is failing, a particular bank is failing. आजकल बहुत आ रहा है. A particular bank is failing. So what is the problem in that? How we can recover from that situation? So diagnostic study, it aims at identifying the causes of problem and a possible solutions to it. Purpose, of course, discovering and testing whether the certain variables are associated. Just now we were studying there. Yes, there may be 2 variables, there may be an independent variable, there may be a moderator. So there are different types of variables. So that we also will have to be considered. Yes, to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with. Yes, that means if something is happening, a constant decline in the sales is there, a constant increase in the complaints are there. Why it is happening? Ola is the best example of it. Why it is happening? Why? Because we don't have a service centers. If service centers are there, the parts are not there. So what? There is a problem, and to that problem we are going to find out why it is happening and what can be done. So that is purpose. Evaluation need. It is one type of applied research. Of course, we are trying to find out the effectiveness of social or economic programs implemented by the government or any way. Purpose is to be find out the qualitative and quantitative of an activity. Now, next one is action research. Naam hi bol raha hai, action karna. Yes, what is action? There is a problem and we want to finish it off. So researcher attempts to study, example, eradication of malaria, maritime problems or maritime navigations. Action research is a reflective process of progressive problem solving individual working with other teams, others in teams and a part of community in place. So another one is action research. Purpose, pre-action situation, pre-action में क्या problem है? Then feasibility study. We have to conduct a feasibility study before we take an out and out action. Planning and launching of a program and concurrent evaluation of a problem. Yes, whether what we have adopted, whether it has worked properly or it has come back again. Yes, so concurrent evaluation is required in the action research. Next is experimental research. I told you this experimental research में Hawthorne का example. What we have done in the Hawthorne example, जिसको हम illumination theory भी बोलते हैं, in 1926 or 29 to 1932, I don't remember, 6 years this experiment went on. And then the experiment में what we try to find out is, to an employee, if we give a particular scenario in a working condition, how he reacts to it and how it has an impact on its productivity. So what we did, we included 2 fans. Let us see if productivity क्या होता है. Productivity बढ़ गया. So let us have some drinking water facility. Productivity बढ़ गया. Let us introduce crèche. Productivity बढ़ गया. So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to experiment, and experiment always has 3 impacts. Number 1, what is the scenario before it, what is the scenario during it, and what is the scenario after it. That means experiment has to be conducted at a time frame limit. So experiment research is commonly used in social science such as sociology, psychology, physics, chemistry, biology, and medicine, etc. We also use it in management. It is a systematic and scientific approach to research in which researcher manipulate one or more variables. Just now I tell, 2 fans add करो, देखो क्या हो रहा है. 2 lights add करो, देखो क्या हो रहा है. Break कर दो time of lunch into 30 minutes. Let us see क्या हो रहा है. Yes. So this, what we do is we try to inject some new points, some new variables to it, and we try to find out what is the outcome of it. So that is nothing but researchers manipulate one or more variables and control. This experiment are conducted to be able to predict phenomena. Yes, to maintain control over all factors, and the blueprint of the procedure that enables the researcher to test his hypothesis. So continuing, अभी तक कोई problem? Yes. Should I continue? So that is nothing but your experimental research. Coming to analytical study. Yes, नाम ही बोल रहा है analysis करना है. Yes, analytical study is a system of procedures and techniques of analysis applied to a quantitative data, like sociometrics. That can be your analytical study. The purpose is to test the hypothesis. हम लोग लिखते हैं data analysis. So analysis study to concentrate on analyzing the data in depth and examine the relationship of various angles by bringing in as many as relevant variables as possible in the analysis. First session में वही कर रहे थे हम लोग. What we were doing, we were putting some additional points to see what was the impact on other. So what is that? That is nothing but our analytical study. Historical research. So what we do is currently we are facing certain problem. Yes, हम लोग अभी आज right now we are facing some problem. What we do is, should we go for quantitative research? Should we go for descriptive research? What we can do? तो हम लोग बोलते हैं यार एक काम करते देखते पहले क्या किया था. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, what we do is we see earlier what we have done, or earlier in our industry what other company has done. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we try to find out what has been done earlier, and then we bring that information and see or analyze or we study whether this solution which was applied earlier can be applied to a problem. If yes, then we are doing the historical research. Yes, so that is nothing but historical research. Many a time, I will just give an example, my personal example. One of my cousin, he was suffering from one genetic disorder, and that genetic disorder was millions में एक को होता है. Millions में एक को होता है. So he was there in MP. He came to Mumbai and he asked me, we can go somewhere. So what I did is I have taken him to one homeopathic doctor and to one Hinduja hospital. Sorry, but he's not there because of that problem, genetic issue. उसमें क्या होता था, कभी भी कोई भी body part swell हो जाता था, and if it is breathing vein, it gets swelled, he is not able to breathe, he expires. Till today, on certain Sundays, maybe 6 months में एक या दो बार Sundays को I get a call from Hinduja hospital and saying that sir एक international workshop है, seminar है, we want you to come and attend it online. What they do, they asked me to share the case paper of my cousin, what they have done, what were the problems. Then I asked them, sir, why you're asking me? बोलते, sir, we are trying to find out the problem कि ये जो इनको हो रहा है और कहीं किसी को हो रहा है क्या, और जो यहाँ पर आपको दवाइयाँ दी गई क्या वो हम वहां पर भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. Till today I get a messages and call from Hinduja Hospital to attend that workshops. So what is this? Currently I'm having a problem. Previously in some industry, some country, कुछ तो भी हुआ है. Whether that solution I can apply to my problem. That is historical research. The purpose is to draw explanations and generalization from the past trends. Many doctor क्या करते हैं, अपने जो सक्सेस स्टोरी रहते हैं ना वो टाइप करके रखते हैं. This success story means some uncurable things if they are able to solve. What they do is they just write down all the things what they have done for the patient and they keep it. So whenever the new things come in, they try to find out whether this can be applied to this. That is historical. It enables us to grasp our relationship with the past and plan future intelligently. Past contains the key to the present and the past. That's what I was saying कि आगे काम में आएगा. Systematic examination of the past event. So basically, I have explained you what is historical. Next is survey research. Survey can be, I think just now I tell you quantitative में survey हम लोग करते हैं. This is an in-depth interview. This in-depth interview, one-to-one interview, where we try to find out in and out of a problem. Purpose, it is always conducted in a natural setting, seeks responses directly, large number of population, we could try to cover it. Survey may involve extensive study or intensive study, covers a geographical area, and finally, we have a case study method. One of my friend has done her PhD in the case study method. मैंने उसको पूछता हूँ कि कुछ तो डेटा यूज किया होगा, secondary, primary. She said, no sir, I've done my entire PhD on a case study. So case study method is also one of the method in which we can do our social science research. It is based on an in-depth investigation of single individual, single company. She has done a case study of one single company in IT industry. It is based on human resource in IT industry. It is based on an in-depth investigation of single individual or a group or event to find out certain principles. So there are models, there are some theories, and that models and theories, we try to find out how it is implied, how it is effective, how it can be useful, or how it has to be changed under the case study method. Again, the purpose is to examine the limited number of variables. See, again, I'm saying that जो भी हम लोग सीख रहे हैं, उसमें we should know about variables. We should know about bivariate and all those datas and all those things. तभी हम लोग decide कर सकते हैं हम कौन से लेंगे. Yes. Conducting of research, in-depth study. Then there is something called as field research. Let me see chat में कुछ है क्या? So field research has traditionally been thought different from the method of research what we conducted. So in this, the people are closer to the real world conditions, and the research in this in the best way to discover a particular information. We may have seen an advertisement. There was a Domino's advertisement. This what they were trying to do is they were trying to find out the people's feedback on the Domino's pizza. So what they did is they allowed certain people to sit in a particular area. An entire chamber was closed with a glass wall. People were able to see the Domino's people were able to see the customers, but customers were not able to see the Domino's people. They were discussing कि Domino's का टॉपिंग्स थोड़ा कम है, सॉफ्टनेस कम है, स्टफ्स कम है, and then the Domino's people say that now this is what people are thinking about us. This is what is going on in the field about us. Now what we have to do, we have to change this. And then they say that they make some changes and they come back and say that जैसे आपने चाहा हमने वैसे बनाया आपका Domino's. Field research is nothing but where we closely look into the people, into the real world scenario. Now, whatever we have seen the different types of research methods, how we have to use it into the research design. Now, this is what we are going to do with exploratory design. The purpose is to explore or familiarize researcher with a topic or phenomenon where there is very limited knowledge or no knowledge. Yes, it helps in generating hypothesis. Variables help karte hain. We know that just now we have seen there are 2 variables, 3 variables. Depending on our topic, there will be the variables of interest and research questions for further investigation. जो further investigation है, that goes as a descriptive research. Methods, of course, what we will do is we will go for the interview, focus group, observation, literature review to gather the information. Example, conducting interview with an individual from a different background to explore their attitude towards newly introduced technology. And what I'm trying to do here is from the first slide, I'm trying to not only explain you the type of method, but different type of topics what we can be covered in a particular method. So that is exploratory design. Coming to the descriptive design, of course, what we are doing, we know the model, we have a review, we have the information, we have the theory. To that theory, to that model, we are adding our own dimensions. There's some new challenges we are putting up to find out what happens in this scenario. So it seeks to describe characteristics, attributes of population or a phenomenon. It provides a snapshot or about the current state of affair without attempting to establish causal relationship. Yes, in this what we do is we adopt questionnaire, observational methods. Yes, that we can adopt it. Example is administering a survey to a college student to assess their study habits, including hours spent studying per week, preferred study environment, and use of study aids. So हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? There are different variables here, and to that variables we are going to collect the information. And of course, with so many information to be collected, we have to prepare a questionnaire or we have to observe them in the real field scenarios. Now, experimental mein, as we have seen, there are some dependable, independent variables. Yes, and time limit is there. Okay, when we have to do that experiment, with what we have to do the experiment, and experiment are always done with controlled variables. Yes, study examining the effect of new teaching method on student performance in mathematics by randomly assigning student to either the experimental group or control group. Just now I was saying that experiment is always conducted in a controlled group. Quasi-experimental group. Yes, in the quasi-experimental group, what we try to do is we try to resemble the experimental designs but lack random assignment of participants to a group. Yes, for example, a study comparing the academic achievement of students who attended an after-school tutoring program, that is treatment group, with those who did not, that is control group, without random assignments. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, उनको एक assignments देंगे, random assignments नहीं देंगे, assignments देंगे, and we will try to find out control group में क्या हुआ and without control group में क्या हुआ, and then we try to find out the outcome of it. Yes, so that is through the academic achievement. Now next one is correlation design. So in correlation नाम ही बोलता है correlate करना है हमें. Yes, research investigating the relationship between socio-economic status and academic achievement. So socio-economic status will depend on academic achievement. Measuring both variables, examining in a higher education status and all those things. So this is a correlation design. What we try to do is correlate with something. Yes, study with number of hours spent, expenditure on advertisement and its impact on brand equity or brand value. So that is correlation design. Longitudinal design. हम लोग ने कई बार हम लोग सुनते हैं कि what is longitudinal research. It involves collecting the data from the same participant over an extended period of time. Yes, experiment में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Yes, experiment में हम क्या करते हैं? Let us take an example. Doctor क्या बोलता है हमें? Suppose we are having a fever. So what the doctor says, sir, every 3 hours में आप temperature देखिए, and after seeing the temperature, if it is 100 and above, what you do is you use Dolo. Again, what you do is after taking the medicine, after 3 hours, again see what is the temperature. If again there is a temperature, you use Dolo. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं? एक टाइम फ्रेम में, एक टाइम इंटरवल में एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं by using a variable called Dolo. कि आप इसको दीजिए, फिर देखिए, इसको दीजिए, फिर देखिए. But in the longitudinal, what we do is we observe a particular person or observe a particular behavior or any of the variable. But here the time limit is not after 3 hours, after 3 months, thing for a long period of time, extended period of time. Yes, and then we study the changes in them. Yes, so that is nothing but so example of it, a study tracking the mental health outcomes of individuals who experience a traumatic event over several years to understand a long-term effect of trauma. यानी कि if anyone has experienced a trauma, it may be an earthquake or any immediately उसका impact समझ में नहीं आता. Over a period of time, long period of time, what changes we have seen in them, that we can study in longitudinal design. Next is cross-sectional. Cross-sectional, yes. In the cross-sectional design, what is there? It involves collection of data from the sample of participant at a single point of time, providing a snapshot of the population at that moment. That is a survey conducted to assess the attitude towards climate change among different age groups in a particular community. So what we are doing here is, in the cross sectional, we are trying to collect the data. Say you can say height and breadth, height and width. दोनों data हम collect कर रहे हैं. Yes, at a single point of time. So that is nothing but cross-sectional design. That is a survey conducted to assess the attitude towards climatic change over the different age groups of the people. Here, दोनों भी हो सकते हैं. That is male, female, and other thing. So that is nothing but a cross-sectional design. Coming to the case study design. Case study design is nothing but focus on in-depth exploration of single individual. Yes, just now I told you, one of my friend has done a single observation of one company, entire thing out and out of HR of that company she has done through a case study method and try to study different models and try to study different theories and how that theories are still relevant in this context of that company. She tried to study that. That is a case study examining the implementation of a new healthcare policy in a specific hospital, exploring its impact on patient care and staff satisfaction. Coming to the mixed one, mix में हम quantitative, qualitative दोनों ले सकते हैं. Just now I told you कि I have taken my in my PhD quantitative and qualitative about labor welfare, so that can be there. Now this is a overview for you. I think this will help. ये कब हेल्प करेगा पता है? जब हम लोग पे बस वेरिएबल्स होगा, जब हमारा टॉपिक रेडी होगा, हम डेटास कैसे कलेक्ट करेंगे एंड व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू गेट आउट ऑफ द स्टडी. If we know this, then we can decide what kind of research we should. क्योंकि कई बार है ना वाइवा में पूछते हैं हम लोग व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च यू हैव डन, तो है ना बच्चों आई मीन सम बच्चे लोग सॉरी व्हाट द पीपल से दैट हमने ये भी किया है, हमने ये भी किया है, ये भी किया. दे लिस्ट डाउन 10 7 8 12 15 types of research. That's what I said. There are around 16 different types of researchers. I will just read out for you: basic, conceptual, applied, empirical, historical, scientific, social, behavior, business, exploratory, descriptive, causal, normative, primary, secondary, quantitative, qualitative. But when we ask them, they are not clear what kind of research method they use. So this is the entire, what you are seeing here is the entire classification of different types of research. If you are going to have historical, past event होना चाहिए, chronological orders में होना चाहिए, previous data होना चाहिए. Descriptive है तो events have to be described, and then we have to answer that 6 questions: who, what, why, and all those things. Yes, correlation है so we are going to find out the relations between them. Yes, correlation है तो we are going to find out all these things. Simulation है, नया method है आजकल का. So model is made and our problem, we are trying to put that into that model and see how it reacts, how the outcome comes. That is fitness of some model of system is checked. Experimental hai, so we are going to find out the variables. That's what I said. We have to know variables. What are the different variables? Normally, we always ask the people when they go for the Viva, आपके topic में what are the variables? So they give 5 6 variables. जो भी important words है, they say that this is a variable. No, there may be 2 3 4 depending on the areas what you're concentrating. So what kind of variables we are going to do, that also has to be there. Comparative में, it can be period, it can be events, it can be companies, it can be products, it can be anything. Comparison we can do. Evaluation research कर सकते हैं. Evaluation में cost benefit analysis कर सकते हैं, because that is आजकल very important. Action research we have already discussed. Feminist, that is gender based. Psychology में कई बार होता है, many a times psychology में हम लोग भी do this. Basically, now this is very important. That's what I was saying. Ki what design we should adopt. Again, I told you, number 1, variables, data types collection, our expected outcomes. So there are a lot of pillars on which this research design selection method depends. Yes. And sometimes what we do is we can use multiple of these data. We can use quantitative and so qualitative also. Yes, we can use that also. So this is the finally selection, the research design. Once you go this entire sessions of different speakers, जहाँ पर आपको वेरिएबल सिलेक्ट करना आना आएगा, जहाँ पर आपको स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल्स करना आएगा, जहाँ पर आपको कोरिलेशन रिग्रेशन सिखाया जाएगा. So from there you will find out a topic. So what my suggestion to all of you is right now is, why don't you today, when you have a time in the evening, you select one topic area. You select one area of topic and say that this next 10 days, on the 10th day, when my last session will be going on, I should know the entire research design. So you select a topic, any of your choice ka topic. Session 1 mein whatever they have said, see how that particular topic fits into your research ka design. I have taken something, someone else will take variables. So underline those variables. So at the end of the 10th day, what you should have? You should have your research proposal ready. Just by attending, you will not get anything. Because until unless you will do it, you will never be able to find out research design kaun sa adopt kare. Because you never know what is your topic ka name. We are just listening here. So my sincere suggestion to you is, day 1 में you select one topic. जैसे हम लोग रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी का चैप्टर बनाते हैं, चैप्टर 3 और चैप्टर 4, whatever is there as per our approach. That research methodology chapter should be ready on the 10th day of your program. So any questions? Any question? I'm sorry मैंने थोड़ा fast लिया है because I'm having a management का meeting, वही मुझे call आ रहा है. I put my mobile on silent. Any question on this?
Yeah. If any question is there, sir is having meeting. Actually, I sincerely thank you, for taking the session, Vishal sir, because though you are busy, you could take it. So if any question is there, please ask. What's the difference between field and survey research? Someone is asking, Vishal.
Any other question? Sir, मैं एक मिनट जरा मैं वो. Yes, any other question?
Please ask question because sir has to attend one meeting of his management, and that's why. Only one question till now, Vishal sir. Difference between field study and survey research.
See, when we do the field study, normally it is related to a specific area. Yes. Suppose field study, we may say that my field of area is Mumbai city. So when we do survey, it is much broader than the field study. You do on a specific study. Just for example, census. What is census? Census is a survey. So if you look at census, अभी तो हुआ नहीं, अभी they are just starting for the next census 2020 because of COVID they have stopped. But if you go to 2010 का census, we will find it in an exhaustive survey done about industry, about transportation, about agriculture, about education, about income, and it has done from 1 to 1. That means each one. So survey is much bigger than the field study. For example, I said that my field of study is only science. My field of study is only commerce. So that is the difference between field and survey method. Yes, how to identify variables regarding our topic? Very important question. In fact, मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि we should start with this variables, because once we know the variables, we will come to know what we have to do. What kind of method we are going to adopt, what kind of methodology we are going to adopt, and what kind of statistics we are going to involve. Qualitative hoga, quantitative hoga. So all depends on these variables. Okay. So variables ka, I hope Rajesh sir, we have a session on variables.
Yeah, we do have sessions on variables, cross-sectional, longitudinal. Someone is asking cross-sectional. We have lecture by Professor Dr. Niji Shajan on this, a special lecture on cross-sectional and longitudinal studies.
See, in the cross-sectional, what we do is basically in simple language. I told you I will not be speaking research language. Because मैं हमेशा I believe in speaking in common man language. Understanding is important rather than speaking in that particular language. See, in the cross-sectional, have you seen that matrix organizations type? Employee has to answer his boss, and employee has to answer his project manager. So what is happening is he has to communicate cross to both, that is his manager back to his department, and also the project manager to whom he has been assigned as an employee. So that's cross. In the same way, in the cross-sectional design, what we do is we try to collect, you can say, different information from the same group. Yes. So that is nothing but your cross-sectional design in research.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think there are not no question. And rather, I think you have meetings, so we have to consider your
नहीं
need.
नहीं 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 sir, मैंने उनको बोल दिया कि I will finish off this and then I will join.
Fine. Then anyone is having question, please do ask, sir. Cross section is done.
And in the cross sectional we don't repeat it. That means in experiment we repeat it. जैसे डॉक्टर बोलता है ना कि एक बार दवाई खाइए और फिर वापस 3 घंटे के बाद खाइए. In experiment, in cross sectional we don't repeat it.
At a point of time, we take the data.
Yes, yeah. At the point of time we take a data.
Yes, yes.
It may be the height of boys and girls. We take only once. बार-बार नहीं लेना. That way. Anything else? Longitudinal में you can take an example of SpaceX. अभी जब आया है just now, yesterday I was referring to one of the article. They said that Indian rupee and Bhutan ka rupee is same. So they were sharing an experience of Bhutan. They said that to install a kit of SpaceX in Bhutan, it costs around 18,000 rupees. And after that, you have to take a monthly subscription of individual and something they were saying. It is start from 3,000 to 3,500. So this information we have, and this information we have about one country. Now the same company has come to us. So how it is going to impact us, that we can study. Anything else? Anything else? अगर आप लोगों का सारा session हो जाए, and if you have any doubt about methods to be selected, just now I told you, frame a topic, do entire thing, because that will be the very good outcome of this session, where you are coming out with a topic. Yes, and all the data and all the methods and all those things. If you have any doubts, sir, if they have any doubt and if they want to find out the topic, what they've done, whether what kind of study has to be done, you can always refer them to me.
Sure, sure.
So thank you.
Yeah. So let me sincerely thank Dr. Vishal Tomar, sir. He's my good friend and an academician. The thing is that he was busy today, but till then he managed to take the session and he deliver the basics of research type. Let me tell, sir was saying ki after the practical session, will it be fine? But I always believe until otherwise the fundamentals are clear, no recent trends can work on. So it was one of the good lecture where you could understand which kind of research you are doing. First, you have to understand what kind of research I am doing, and then you can do the advanced treatment on it. So Vishal sir, thank you very much for joining us, and it was indeed a best session. And I sincerely thank from our management and you personally, I thank you for the same. Thank you very much. One has asked a question now. Mixed method research take a lot of time as compared to others. So
Madam,
now,
sir, आप बोलो फिर मैं बोलता हूँ.
see, the mixed method, basically student is not like that. We commerce economics basically do quantitative researches by survey studies. But when we do qualitative, we have to go on a interviews and focus group. So ultimately it takes some time. Qualitative researches take time because they have to meet people and try to understand them in depth. So therefore mixed methods take a long time. That's the reason. Otherwise survey today online Google form also you can spread sitting at home and get a data. But for field work, you have to go there personally and you have to become part of respondents. That's the difference. Yeah.
And also, sir, in the questionnaire or in this survey method, we have a close-ended questions.
Yes, Likert scale close-ended. Yeah.
Since we have a close-ended question, uska answer ka recording and then analyzing and interpretation become easier. Whereas in qualitative, it changes from person to person and it cannot be same for everyone.
Yes.
One question can be asked to someone, but the same question cannot be asked to other one. So there, sometime you may get stuck into collecting the data and bringing into a uniform pattern. But I think if we do it properly, If we plan it properly,
We can.
we can have it. So you सब चीज quantitative नहीं होगा और सब चीज qualitative नहीं होगा. Maybe a possibility that 10-20% you require a qualitative.
Obviously, to understand in depth, and sociologists and the anthropologists do work more on qualitative because they study culture and they study the social perspective. But commerce, economics, and other sciences, they can use a mixed method, some interviews and more surveys, and you can have your data analysis. So Vishal sir, thank you very much for joining us. And because it's a Eid, the Rosa going on, so many have now they have to go for iftari.
Right, sir, I understand, sir.
But I really respect 5 o'clock. You were supposed to stop, but as academician, we can't stop once we start. So you again proved it that we are teacher first. So thank you very much for joining and extending the time for the students.
Thank you,
Hopefully,
Rajesh sir. Thank
we
you
shall
for providing
connect
me
in near
opportunity.
future as well for next capacity building program.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rajesh sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And dear learners, tomorrow we have the session by Dr. Jinal Shah. She is one of the influencing speaker on a LinkedIn, and she has got number of best paper awards till date. And she is a fantastic speaker on systematic literature and writing scholarly articles. So I'll request you join from the beginning. Both the sessions she will be taking tomorrow. So we only have session by one, Dr. Jinal Shah. It will start sharp by 2 p.m. So we shall meet tomorrow online. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can start leaving now. Thank you.